Martin donated $100.
Thank you, Martin.
Ladies, follow this advice and win. Date someone a bit older than you.
Yep.
Ensure that your core beliefs are aligned, religion, family, etc. If he's the right man, you'll gladly acquiesce to his frame. But most men are weak losers. More for Brian and me.
Thank you, Marquavius. Wait, someone will ensure that your core beliefs. Oh, that's good. If he's the right man, yeah.
Do you mind if I say something? I personally, I don't disagree with dating older. Personally, I would not, because I feel like you're missing out on a lot of life experiences with that person. And personally, like, I want to be broke in our 20s together eating ramen. Like, I don't think it's quote unquote fun, but it's an experience of growing together. And that may be a personal value I have of mine, but I definitely don't see where that would be beneficial for all women.
I think if you go in with that mentality, it forces you to grow up faster.
Yeah.
I think that's the other thing. A lot of people think like you find the person and now you are who you are. If you go into it thinking like we could actually create something very, very unique and powerful together, I felt like I wish that I wish that I dated differently when I was younger. I was kind of brainwashed the same way that I said a lot of women, and the way you said a lot of women were earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't have, I think I kind of always knew that I wanted to find a wife and get married, but I was like, I can wait. Like I should become a certain type of man. I should do this. Like I do believe that the advice to men to focus on yourselves and turn yourself into a more desirable option, more of a high value man, can certainly benefit you in the modern dating world. But I think that if men could separate from the end goal and more key in on the characteristics that get you to be a high value man, they could develop those characteristics between the ages of like 16 to 22, and then they will be able to they'll be able to find a girl at that age, and they will be able to stimulate her. They'll be able to attract her because she will see the ambition and she will see the potential. That is definitely something that can happen, but men need to start focusing in on those characteristics rather than just abandoning dating altogether and thinking I'm just going to use the characteristics to get to age 30 and then find my special someone.
You said that you had something in response to Kiko, the male version, was it? Yeah, and the conversation steered a little bit differently, so now it's not quite the direct comparison, but I do think this is an important thing to bring up. I think there's a very, very like direct parallel that you can draw between women's obsession with social media and men's obsession with porn. Mm-hmm. I think that when you really break it down, the currencies, you hear this all the time. The currency for women is attention, the currency for men is sex, right? And if you wanted to just put it into a very, very simple parallel, if a man was like watching a lot of porn when he was single because he just wasn't getting laid all that often, he needed to like get off, satisfy himself, and then he got together with you and he was just like, yeah, I'm just going to keep watching a lot of porn, I'm going to keep just like doing that, you would probably find that to be weird.
Okay, so I mean, I'm not trying to be argumentative sake, but my response to that would be I would never date a man who consumes a lot of porn to begin with, so I wouldn't have that problem.
Okay, but why are men consuming porn? It's because they're not getting laid. So when he starts getting laid, first of all, he's probably going to think to himself, I don't need porn as much because now I can get off having sex or through some other form of intercourse. And he's going to think to himself, I should probably just stop doing this for my partner. I should start acting like a man who's in a relationship and not, going to wherever I go to like open up my laptop and just pleasure myself.
I mean, I've literally, out of my long-term relationships, I know when they say that they're not lying, they don't watch porn. They were never porn consumers to begin with. I'm not really usually attracted to men who do. I'm not saying I am saying it could be a bad thing to overconsume, but is a problem with men, the overconsumption of porn, but there's not all men, obviously, that overconsume porn. Yeah. But if I did have that issue, I do see your overarching point. That's kind of like what my response is. Like, I feel like you could just not have to worry about this if you just don't date someone who's doing that. Okay.
So do you think that, like, porn in general for who determines the value of porn? Like, the consumer, right?
Right.
Right. So I'm just confused on what you're saying. So you're saying that, like, can you elaborate on what you're saying? 'Cause I'm a little
No, what I'm
confused.
saying is men go to porn to satisfy their like innate mating need.
Their lack of
yeah,
sex.
their lack of sex, their sexual
Right.
desire. Women go to social media to get the attention from men. It's like the very, very
It's like a
basic.
cycle that feeds
Yes,
itself.
women are seeking attention so that they then have an opportunity with the man who they're trying to get the attention from. Men are looking for sex.